Well, I had a wonderful evening on Monday night, and it was quite funny. On Monday afternoon, my colleague Kate McCann, who also covers politics for this station, we were chatting, and she said, what are you up to the rest of the day? And I said, oh yes, I'm doing a little bit of work in the office, and then I'm heading off to an event tonight. And she said, what's the event? And I said, oh, it's just a thing I'm sure it wouldn't be of interest to you, just going to. She said, oh no, what is it? And I just sort of mumbled my words. And then off I went to the National Cat Awards. I was, to be honest, slightly embarrassed that I was going to the National Cat Awards. And then who should I see across the room but none other than my lovely colleague Kate McCann herself, who was in fact one of the judges of the National Cat Awards. We're both massive political people and we're also massive cat people as well. Kate has a cat as well. So I went to the National Cat Awards. It was a wonderful evening. I went with my friend Sarah, and I think perhaps we can see a photograph actually of Sarah and me, because we saw none other than David James, the former England goalkeeper, and he was there as well, as was some other celebrities as well. Stephen McGann was there, Donna Porter. That's, if you're looking on the screen now, you can see a picture of me with David James, and indeed my lovely friend Sarah as well, who came with me. She is the cat mum of Pickle the cat, and that was a very, very pleasant evening on Monday night at the National Cat Awards. But the winner of the National Cat Awards was Zebby. Now, Zebby was crowned overall cat winner. He's a male cat who was 2 in February. And it's fascinating because Zebby, without any training, became a hearing cat for his owner, Genevieve. She's deaf, she lives alone, and whether it's the phone ringing, someone at the door, or a sound in the night, Zebby will tap Genevieve's face or pace in front of her, alerting her that she needs to put in her hearing aid. Let's see a little video first. You can hear it as well if you're listening on Talk Radio, about Zebby, and then we'll talk to Genevieve. Oh, we're going to see it in just a second, but this was played at the National Cat Awards, and it was a really special thing. It moved me. I wonder if it'll move you too. Let's take a look.
Being deaf is very hard. It's very difficult living alone, especially in a place where you feel quite isolated. I never really realised how bad it was at night time when the hearing aids come out, until I was burgled in the middle of the night. Right from being very small, Zebby sensed that I had difficulty hearing, and he's become my night watchman, my postman and guardian. He seems to know that when the phone rings, he needs to alert me. At night time, if my security light goes on, he seems to know to wake me up, and he does so by tapping my face. Without him, I'd feel very frightened. I used to be scared to go to sleep, I used to sort of lay awake. But now I can sleep knowing that Zebby's going to be there. If I am going out, as soon as I put my shoes on, Zebby will lay in front of the door, almost to say, where you're going, you're not going. Sometimes I do have to go out the back door to escape, but when I get back in, he'll come running up, give me lots of cuddles. I'm no longer coming into an empty house. I know that my best friend is going to be waiting there for me. Oh, I just love him. He is my saviour, really.
Isn't that just lovely? That was Genevieve there talking about Zebby, who has won the National Cat Award for Cat of the Year. Let's talk to Genevieve now. Genevieve, it's a real pleasure to talk to you. I know Zebby's not too far. Oh, there he is! There he is. He's on the screen. Oh, look at him. He's so beautiful with his little paws and everything. He's a very, very good boy, and unsurprisingly, he wants to make sure that he is the limelight as well. Genevieve, you must be very, very proud of him.
Oh, I am, yeah. He's such a wonderful cat. Hang on, he's just biting me at the moment.
Not so wonderful at the moment. He's a great cat.
No, he's a lovely cat. I don't know what I'd do without him.
You spoke very movingly in that video, Genevieve, and I know you were very moved. I saw you on the stage on Monday as well. I was there at the National Cat Awards. What does it mean to you to win this, for Zebby to win this award, for this recognition of everything he's done for you?
Well, I was overwhelmed, because to me, he's just my cat. He's just my Zebby. He's my best friend. And there were some very, very moving stories there as well. I was quite emotional on the night, but for Zebby to win, it's just brought it home to me just how clever and maybe unique he is. And if my Zebby can help me, then I'm sure that there are so many other cats out there that could help their owners in the same way, you know, because cats don't have any formal training. You know, you get dogs for the blind and you get hearing dogs, but, you know, there's no mention of hearing cats or sight cats.
And when did it, I mean, he's only 2 years old, Genevieve. When did it become clear to you that he was a bit different, he was a special cat?
I think just within a few weeks, he was very curious as to what I was wearing in my ears, you know, the hearing aids.
Yes.
And so he used to play with them as kittens do. And then he seemed to know that when the phone rang, I would answer it and say hello. So at night time, I put my phone on a sensor under the pillow, which vibrates it. And Zebby started to tap it and paw it as if to recognise it.
Yes.
That's what I talk with. And one early morning, my phone was ringing apparently, and Zebby was tapping the side of my face. And I saw him sort of tap the phone as if to say, there's somebody calling, you have to answer it. And so from there, he's just taken it upon himself to become my secretary.
Yes, indeed.
But when I'm awake and the phone rings, he'll just look at me as if to say, no, I'm not your secretary today, you answer.
Oh, right, it's your turn to answer it, yeah. And he's a very special cat. Where did you get him then? How did he come into your life?
It was just during lockdown, and I was getting a little bit lonely, and I needed a friend, and I can't manage a dog because of my medical condition. So I saw an advert in a local paper with a picture of this little boy on it here, and I immediately fell in love with him. I mean, he looked so cute. So I answered the ad, and when he was old enough to come to me, then he was brought to my house, and he just jumped straight into my arms. So
you knew from the first moment he was your cat, and he was a cat that needed to be in your home and was going to be your companion.
Yeah, he chose me, and I'd already picked his name, Zebby, with him being black and white. And he's such a little character. See, he needs lots of attention.
That's it.
Like
well, he likes the limelight anyway, and I'm sure that's not going to go away. Genevieve, congratulations to you. Congratulations to Zebby as well. And it was a really special night, wasn't it, Genevieve? It was really lovely.
It was fantastic. I mean, I just felt so honoured to have been sort of invited, you know, for Zebby to get into the final 12. But to sit there and just go through the whole evening, and when his name was announced that he'd won his category, you know, I was overwhelmed. I literally froze to my seat.
Well, you did very well, and you spoke very well as well on the stage. Your little speech, both times actually, both the category winner and the main win was fantastic. So all the very best to you, and thanks so much for joining us. And Zebby as well, he clearly likes the camera. So thanks so much, Genevieve. That's Genevieve Moss there. She's the owner of Zebby, who is the National Cat of the Year, according to Cats Protection, which are a fantastic organisation. I used to volunteer with them, and I'm a fully paid up member, and happily so. It's an exciting week this week because I have the absolute privilege of filling in for Ian Collins.